Welcome back to Sunrise Daily. Well, yes, indeed, continuing our conversation on Ogun local government elections. We've got joining us now Honorable Adebutu, who is a BOT member for Ogun State and was also the governorship candidate for the 2023 elections in the state. Good morning and thank you for joining us on the program today.
Thank you, Chamberlain. I'm very grateful that you've considered it.
All right. So,
necessary to have me.
Yes. So, several allegations about how the elections panned out, including against you. But let's get your impression. First of all, how did the elections turn out from your perspective?
We didn't have any elections. We didn't have any elections in Ogun State. The truth of the matter is that in Ogun State, we have about 5,044 polling units. In over 4,000 of those polling units, OGSEC did not turn out, or they did not turn up at all. In the less than 1,000 that they turned up, ballot boxes were snatched in maybe 600-700 of them. In less than 100 that they declared results, we are yet to receive any result sheets. And even in places where they declared winners, they announced at their secretariat winners other than winners that were declared. For example, in Ogun, a PDP candidate was supposed to have won as a councillor, Dito in Ifo as well. But interestingly, other results have been declared. So I don't know which elections we had. Very interesting. It's not that we expected anything different, but for the fact that there was this statement that there was no opposition in Ogun State, we had to make it clear that democracy must prevail. There is opposition. And without an alternative to a sitting government, democracy fails. We had to come out and compete. Yes, it is true, all over the country, it happens that the sitting government virtually selects the top tier of government. It is not right. We have asked for autonomy. The president of the federation has propounded the need that there should be autonomy for the top tier of government. But the truth of the matter is the wanton rape of those treasuries have made it a necessity that the chief executives of the states should desperately pursue any means to keep that tier of government under their lock and key. So that is why we have seen what our own chief executive in this state he has done.
All right. Okay, so let me ask you. I mean, the APC circulating videos, they accuse you. In fact, there was this particular video where they said it was one of your boys, I think a certain Mr. Adinleye. They said he's a minority leader in Ogun State House of Assembly and that he was leading thugs to, I think they say, Dubolu local government or something like that. So how do you respond to that allegation?
Mr. Chamberlain, I am saddened by the fact that in an election like this, we actually deploy the military. The candidate for Dubolu, I believe, is Dr. Dia, one of my younger brothers from that local government. He invited the military, and truckloads of military personnel were driving through the local government, harassing the electorate. At the end of the day, they actually apprehended the minority leader in Ibefu in his town, took him to Ilese barracks, beat him mercilessly, kept him there overnight, only to dump him at Ibeba area command the next day. What are we running? Is this a Gestapo nation? It says this, and I say this, and I hope that the president of the Federation hears this. Any goodwill he had, that Abiodun is destroying any goodwill President Tinubu and APC has in Ogun State. This is not any lekenino idiomo. That Abiodun is destroying any goodwill APC or President Tinubu had, because we are now afraid that this kind of carry-on, we don't need a worse tyrant. We have never seen this before. So what did the minority leader do in Ibefu in his town that deserved that the military should now descend on his town and carry him away, beat him mercilessly? Is a sad day. Very sad day for our democracy.
So the video that was circulating where we saw some policemen, I think where they were shouting that they sent policemen to your place, is that the same video you're talking about?
The minority leaders issue is a different case.
So the one for yours is also different.
All the known leaders of PDP were targeted and arrested or detained or molested. Let me tell you what happened in my own case. The video that is coming on, this is the detail of the people supposed to be part of Dapo Abiodun's entourage or protection units. They went about town harassing citizens of Nigeria. The chief security person of the state deployed his personnel to attack my neighborhood. This is my neighborhood, you see. What happened? And this is interesting for our democracy. This is very interesting for our democracy. My aide went out to vote, and on his way back was accosted by 4 men. And because I believe that the polity was overheated, I myself did not go out to vote. I did not leave my house that day. But I did not want to send a bad signal. I allowed my household to go and vote. My aide went out to vote. On his way back, he was accosted by 4 men. Cautionarily, yes, he was escorted by 2 policemen on his way out to vote. He was accosted on the way back by 4 armed men, thugs of APC. And can you believe they were fired upon? When they were fired upon, the police responded and fired back. But interestingly, the police started asking, why were policemen on election day? The question I ask is, there are 2 issues. You say policemen were out on election day. But 4 armed people that we know in that neighborhood fired on policemen. Firing on policemen is a capital offense. I think the IG should look into this. Firing on policemen is a capital offense. One of them was hit by the return fire from those policemen and is in the hospital in Osut. And being paid for, the expense of that treatment is being paid for by the governor.
Honorable, we were told that you were the one that led thugs, and that those thugs were actually shot at.
I never left my house that day. all. I never even stepped out to vote. Now, let me tell you something. Those policemen, they have been approved for me since December 2022. They have lived with me since December 2022. Why? Because I have been besieged. I have lived in that community besieged. I have lived under the trauma of a governor that is violent prone. I drive around in armored vehicles 24/7 in my town. The locality is now plagued by violence because this person is bent on subverting the will of the people to act freely. The IG, in his goodness, has left this policeman with me because he continues, our man continues to behave as if election is still going on today.
Okay, so what you're saying is that you applied for the policeman that they say you went.
They have lived with me since December 2022, before the election.
Is it true that, because we're told this morning that those same policemen were arrested by the Commissioner of Police in Ogun State? Is that correct?
When there's an incident, yes, they were asked to come in and explain themselves. And I am certain, because they have been questioned, it has come to light that they shot back in response to the fire that they received. They are in hospital as well. Those policemen are in hospital as well, at Ogun. In a sane society, anybody that shoots at a policeman has committed a capital offense. Anybody that shoots at a policeman has committed a capital offense. That person that shot at that policeman should be arrested and prosecuted. In the last elections in 2023, we had the same situation. The police reports speak for themselves. We went through this same scenario. Those people that shot at policemen, those people that shot at civilians, they're still roaming about the town with impunity. And this is going to be a democracy.
It's incredible
It's going to be a democracy.
Well, Mr. Adebutu, it's incredible how it's hard to believe how the elections, the local government, I can't believe it's local government elections we're talking about here. I mean, some people will say, if we're talking about this level of violence and this level of controversy in a governorship election, they might understand, that the stakes are high. We're talking about local government elections where we're, electing local government chairmen and also councillors. 236 councillors in all. So let me get your side of the story. Are you saying truly that you were not able to win one councillorship seat in all of Ogun?
Thank you. My sister, I tell you, 5,044 polling units. Over 4,000 of those units, OGSEC did not bring voting materials.
How many of the polling units?
Election? 5,044. Yeah. 5,044 polling units. In over 4,000, OGSEC did not show up at all. What kind of election is that? In the less than 1,000 where they showed up, materials were stolen. After voting commenced, and they saw the way the direction the vote were going, in over 500 of them. When they started announcing results, and they saw that this is not going fine, they started snatching the ballots. But you see, we had to participate in that election to drag them out because they had the effrontery to say there was no opposition party in Ogun State. There's no opposition party in Ogun State, and we're the majority. We beat them in 2023. We beat them on Saturday. We will beat them again. But this time, when we meet them, the next time, they have shown us that we have to protect our votes. We have to protect our votes. Nigerians have to protect their votes.
You say that they did not show up, that the electoral body did not show up in over 4,000 polling units. Yet you're confident that you would have won, or you won in those 4,000 polling units. How do you win in a place where elections are not conducted?
We won because they did not show up out of default. They did not show up because they knew the result that emanate from the polling units. We won. We won. They're supposed and try to exclude us from that election by dragging us through all manner of litigation. But they failed. Because at the end of the day, good sense prevailed in the judiciary and got good judgment. They failed. So on Friday, when the judgment came and PDP was not excluded, they were in a dilemma. And they had to participate in an emergency situation. That's why they chose the option not to show up in over 4,000 polling units. Rather than face disgrace or being beaten and defeated again at home, as happened in 2023, they now resorted to violence. In Ogun, people were macheted. The secretary of the party, all his aides were macheted. Are you going to tell me it was like Adebutu macheting members of his party?
Well, they say that the PDP still hasn't gotten its house together, and that it's still heavily factionalized, and that can account for its poor showing in the just concluded local government elections.
Sorry, excuse me, madam. We don't have any faction in PDP. We don't have any faction in PDP. The problems in APC, they are greater than the problems in PDP. In PDP, we have had our congresses, properly seated executive. Let APC go and sort out their own congresses. After the APC has had their own congresses, let us see how united their own houses. We have no problem in PDP. Our house is intact. Can I show you that?
Well, given how the local government elections have now panned out, and the fact that, you have also admitted that it's no different from what we have witnessed in many other states where, the party of the governor, sweeps the polls at the end of the day, and you have also admitted that you're not exactly expecting anything different. You have gone into the elections for a different reason. I'm wondering what your suggestions will be to strengthen local government elections, because this is not what we expect from local government elections. One of the reasons why the Supreme Court judgment was hailed was because people thought they will begin to see, democracy get into the grassroots. But clearly, that's not what has been witnessed in Ogun State. Whomever you speak to, they will tell you that there was violence. There were incidences that did not speak to democracy. Even the ruling party will say so. So I'm wondering, from your own experience, what would you be suggesting to Nigerians that we should be doing to actually deepen democracy to the grassroots level in across the country?
The truth of the matter is that it even goes beyond just this local government elections alone. The truth is the whole polity has to get a rethink. As regards the local government elections, first we have to take it away from the states. There's a Yoruba saying, nobody covers his eyes with his own eyes and will not see. These governors and chief executives, they depend, they have learned to enjoy revenue coming from federal allocations to these local governments as extra revenues to be abused. We will publish extensively monies that have accrued to our local governments for the last 5 years. You will see it in national dailies, maybe tomorrow or the day after. You see, Dapo has enjoyed that money for 5 years. To take it away from him, it's like taking milk away from a baby. The baby will cry, will do anything. In his own case, he can kill or maim if necessary. So, you must take those elections away from the states. That's the first and easiest way. That's the first and easiest way. Yes, maybe create another body nationally, an independent body, maybe give it back to INEC to conduct APC. Even when we do that, what happens in the case of our general elections? Our general elections are still even suspect. The electoral law has improved a lot of the nature of our elections. As a past legislator, I still believe there's still work to be done. The Electoral Act has really helped because in tampering and questioning the reality about party supremacy, that's helped in streamlining a lot of these litigations as well, and reality about candidature. We have done a lot of work about that. But the Electoral Act still has to help in admitting evidence. Admitting evidence in our elections. For example, look at what has happened now. OGSEC hasn't turned up in over 4,000 polling units. We don't have any results from anywhere. We can't even challenge what they've done.
So what's next for you now?
We are going to just party and be happy that we have brought them into public odium. That was the aim of these elections that we had.
Okay, so
we have shamed them.
As we wind down now, you say that you beat them before, you beat them again in the next one, and you protect your vote. Does that then mean that you will still be there to probably go give another shot at the governorship for the next elections?
Kimberly, I leave you to guess about that.
But just trying to be sure, so that we don't, so that you say they misquoted you.
Guess. No, guess now, guess. I want you to imagine.
Okay.
Let's do the best for our country.
Okay.
Let's do the best for our country.
Well, we'll see, but it means that you have a job of work to unify the party, and if anybody feels hard done by, you have to see how you can bring them all together if you have to pull together in one direction.
Don't worry. That's why I've laid myself down for service to the people. And that is why we're continuing to cultivate over the last 30 years a followership that for the first time has genuinely and truly won an election in Ogun State. Never mind the stories that we are.
What would you say to those who say that before they know it now, you travel out now and then you stay there for a while and you leave them here to be slugging it out?
No. You know, that time that I was away, is he who fights now run away, that lives to fight another day. Suppose I stayed those 8 months and they had killed me, I won't be back to win now and lead the party. I had to step aside to make sure that I'll be able to come back and continue to lead our people. I will continue to lead them. I will not fret, I will not fear. And we shall arrive at the promised land, God willing.
All right.
Thank you very much.
We'll leave it at that point. We do thank you very much indeed for talking to us this morning. Honorable Adebutu is a BOT member for Ogun State PDP and also the governorship candidate for the 2023 elections. So thank you and all the best to you and the team.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so let's take a look at some messages that is coming through now from, I think we've got, let's see.
Professor Enakena here says there's something still not right about conducting local government elections in Nigeria. A situation where government in power at state level totally annihilates its opposition is baffling and worrisome, which is why there's palpable fear for the creation of state police and the possible abuse by state chief executives.
This one is from Yomi. He says, whalers and opposition, especially losers, will most definitely follow the process of elections in Ondo and Ogun. We should be used to it by now. It is well to avoid opinions and speculations of our own or others. It is well to refer to the facts of life. I recommend that losers should use the judiciary to argue their case. All right. Well, there you go. We do thank you all for watching. We'll see you again next time. I'm Chamberlain, so goodbye.
Well, here's wishing you a very productive week. I'm Maupe Ogun Yusuf.